Hey, I'm Mark from Foster the People. You know, I started thinking about the new record while we were still touring Supermodel. When we would have a little bit of time off, me and Isom Innes, who plays in the band, would kind of lock ourselves up in the studio, and we started writing then. So I would say that, you know, Supermodel was a hard record for me. It was an emotional record to write. And, you know, I was purging a lot of stuff with that album, and I think the one thing that I didn't really consider was that I would have to be touring it for 2 years and living in that state of mind every night. So at the end of that, I was pretty torn up and really wanted to make something joyful. And I think, you know, going back into the studio for Sacred Hearts Club as we were writing that, I mean, I would say that, you know, we were kind of using joy as a weapon in a way as a response to everything that's been happening around the world, you know, the last couple of years, from you know, the election in our country, to the refugee crisis in Syria, to, you know, the spirit of nationalism that's kind of spreading, these ideas of racism, all these things that I thought that we were evolving past as humans feels like they've been kind of coming back with fangs. And so you know, it felt really good to express some of those ideas, but in a joyful way, to like unite people and you know, and I guess do our part in battle that way. Working on Doing It for the Money was tough, actually. I started that song 5 years ago, and kind of had it like tucked away and kind of forgot. I honestly forgot about it. It was initially written as a hip hop song, you know, to where the chorus is melodic, but the verses were just open for like an MC or somebody to come on. And so when it started to look like it was, you know, it was becoming a Foster the People song, it took me a long time to figure out the verse, honestly, to crack it musically, because it's like I don't want to like rap. I'm not like trying to like be a hip hop artist, but like, I grew up on it, and I think the elements of that are really interesting. But approaching hip hop from a songwriter's perspective was my challenge on this record. I would say that I'm Pay the Man, Loyal Like Sid and Nancy, and Doing It for the Money, and Hard in the Paint, you know, which I think, you know, is kind of a new territory for our band. Yeah, the sequencing on this record was really interesting. I mean, we sequenced it like vinyl, you know. I would say that in that way, like, we're purists. You know, I love listening to records that have a flow from start to finish. And I feel like, you know, as an artist, I mean, you know, we live in such a playlist culture now that, you know, people will stream what they want to stream, but I'm still going to sequence a record for vinyl, you know, because I know that, you know, when I hear something that's like sequenced and the thought that's been, and there's been thought and intention put into it, it's, you know, it's the best. So with this one, it was really hard, actually. Like we had we sequenced the record, we had it mastered, and then we all sat as a band and we listened to it. And halfway through, I stood up. I had this sickening feeling in my stomach, and I was like, the record's not done. And like kind of pressed pause. It felt bloated, and we, you know, we went back in, opened up all the sessions again, cut a bunch of stuff out, and trimmed it down, but then added those transitional periods too, and started to tie things together in like a post-production. Well, honestly, like, I'll never make a record like any other way now. You know, it's like once it's finished, taking the masters or taking like a 2-track, and then having like one more layer of like a little bit of production to kind of tie things together, I think really kind of like glued this record together. But we ended up mastering it like 3 separate times, which, you know, at that point it's like, you know, we're so close to the songs and so close to the record, and had been living in that for so long that it was so tempting to just be like, it's done, it's great, it's done, just put it out. But you know, we didn't give up on that, and I think like I'm really happy we did it, you know.
What's up? This is Monkey from Korn.
It's El King.
Mark Hoppus.
Kendrick Lamar.
Tori Kelly.
We're Lucas Graham.
I'm Chris from Motionless in White.
What's up? This is Problem.
I'm Lindsay Sterling, and make sure to subscribe so that you can see more videos from incredible artists.